The International Space Station, or ISS, is a magnificent machine. It is a home and a laboratory, orbiting our planet at an incredible speed. Imagine a place built by many countries, all working together. This station is a symbol of human cooperation, floating high above the Earth. It travels at 5 miles per second, completing one full trip around the world every 90 minutes. This means we see a sunrise or a sunset every 45 minutes. It is a constant, beautiful reminder of the planet we come from and the incredible journey we are on. The ISS is not just a piece of hardware. It is a human outpost on the frontier of space, a testament to our curiosity. Living here is unlike anything you can experience on Earth. The station is a collection of modules, connected like building blocks. Each module has a purpose. Some are for science experiments, some are for living, and others are for storage or docking visiting spacecraft. Navigating the station feels like swimming through a long, narrow corridor, but in every direction. There is no up or down in the traditional sense. You learn to use handrails to pull yourself along, floating from one place to another. This environment, called microgravity, changes everything about how you move, work, and live. It forces you to constantly adapt and think differently about your surroundings. The ISS is our lifeboat in the cosmos. It provides everything we need to survive in the harshness of space. It generates its own power from massive solar arrays that soak up the sun's energy. It recycles our water, turning even our breath and sweat back into clean drinking water. This is a critical technology, not just for space travel, but for potential use back on Earth, where clean water is scarce. The life support systems are the unsung heroes of the station, humming along in the background, constantly working to keep us safe and healthy. They are the complex machinery that makes this metal structure a true home. This orbiting home is also a place of perspective. Looking out the window of the cupola, a 7-windowed dome, is a life-changing experience. You see the Earth not as a collection of countries with borders, but as a single, beautiful and fragile entity. You see swirling storms, the thin blue line of our atmosphere, and the lights of cities at night. This view gives you a profound sense of connection to all of humanity and a deep understanding of our place in the universe. It reminds you why the work we do up here is so important. We are not just living in space. We are learning how to be better stewards of our own planet. A typical day on the International Space Station is carefully planned, right down to the minute. Our schedule is sent up to us from Mission Control, and it guides everything we do. We wake up early, around 6 o'clock in the morning, Greenwich Mean Time, to get started. The first thing is a quick check-in with the control centers on the ground in Houston, Moscow, and other places. We talk about the plan for the day and report on the station's health. This daily planning conference ensures that everyone, both in space and on Earth, is synchronized. It sets the rhythm for a day filled with complex tasks and important research. Most of our workday is dedicated to science. The ISS is a unique laboratory where we can study things that are impossible to study on Earth. We conduct experiments for scientists from all over the world. These could involve studying how our own bodies adapt to microgravity, which helps us prepare for longer missions to Mars. We might also work with flames to understand combustion better, or grow crystals to develop new medicines. Each experiment requires focus and precision. We are the hands, eyes, and ears for thousands of researchers back on the ground, and their success depends on our careful work. Maintaining the space station is another huge part of our job. The ISS is a complex machine, and just like any house, it needs constant upkeep. We might spend hours repairing a piece of equipment, upgrading a computer system, or cleaning filters. Sometimes this work requires a spacewalk, which is also called an extravehicular activity or EVA. These are carefully choreographed and physically demanding tasks where we go outside the station in our spacesuits. Spacewalks are among the most dangerous things we do, but they are essential for keeping the station running smoothly and expanding its capabilities for future missions. Every single day, without fail, we dedicate about 2 hours to exercise. This isn't just for fun, it's critical for our health. In microgravity, our muscles and bones don't have to work against gravity, so they start to weaken. To combat this, we use special equipment. We have a treadmill with harnesses to hold us down, a stationary bike, and a machine that uses resistance to let us do weightlifting. This daily workout is intense. but it is one of the most important things we do to ensure we return to Earth healthy and strong after months of living in space. Eating in space is a very different experience from dining on Earth. There are no refrigerators for fresh food, so most of our meals are specially prepared to last a long time. Much of the food is dehydrated, freeze-dried, or thermostabilized, which means it has been heat-treated. To prepare a meal, we often have to add water using a special dispenser. We might have pouches of macaroni and cheese or tortillas with rehydrated beef. Everything has to be carefully managed, because crumbs and stray drops of liquid can float away and clog important equipment. We eat our food right out of the packages or use tortillas to wrap it up. The food itself is a mix of practical and familiar. We have a variety of options, from scrambled eggs for breakfast to shrimp cocktail and beefsteak for dinner. The menus are planned to give us the right balance of nutrients to stay healthy. However, living in space can dull your sense of taste. So many astronauts prefer spicy foods. We have liquid salt and pepper to add flavor, because regular shakers would create a cloud of particles. Occasionally, a resupply ship brings fresh fruit and vegetables, which are a wonderful treat. These small comforts, like a fresh apple, make a huge difference when you are so far from home. Keeping clean in space also requires some creative solutions. There are no showers or bathtubs like we have on Earth. If we sprayed water, it would just float around in big bubbles and get everywhere. Instead, we use a special rinseless shampoo and soap with a small amount of water and a towel. To wash our hair, we apply the no-rinse shampoo, massage it into our scalp, and then dry it with a towel. For our bodies, we use a washcloth with soap and water. It's not quite the same as a hot shower, but it gets the job done and helps us feel fresh and clean each day. Personal hygiene is about more than just comfort. It's about health and safety. We brush our teeth just like on Earth, but we have to be careful with the toothpaste. We either swallow it or spit it into a towel to prevent it from floating away. Shaving is done with a special razor that captures the tiny hairs. Even going to the bathroom is a technical process. The space toilet uses air suction instead of water to pull waste away from the body. All these routines might seem strange, but they become normal very quickly. They are just part of the unique set of skills you learn for living and working in orbit. Getting a good night's sleep is just as important in space as it is on Earth. However, without gravity to hold you in bed, you would just float around and bump into things. To solve this, each astronaut has their own small private crew cabin. It's about the size of a phone booth. Inside, we have a sleeping bag that we strap to the wall or the ceiling. It doesn't matter which way is up. We zip ourselves in so we stay in one place. Some astronauts enjoy the feeling of floating freely while they sleep, while others prefer the secure feeling of the sleeping bag pressing lightly against them. The environment for sleep is also carefully controlled. The station is quite noisy, with fans and equipment running all the time. So many of us wear earplugs. We also have to cover the windows in our cabins because we experience 16 sunrises and sunsets every day. Seeing a brilliant sunrise every 90 minutes would make it very difficult to stick to a normal sleep schedule. By creating a dark, quiet space, we can trick our bodies into a regular 8-hour sleep cycle. This helps us stay alert, focused, and ready for the complex work we have to do each day. Beyond sleep, we have to actively manage our physical health. The human body is incredibly adaptable, but it adapts to the lack of gravity in ways that can be harmful. Without the constant pull of Earth, our bones can lose density, and our muscles can atrophy or waste away. This is why our daily 2-hour exercise routine is non-negotiable. The resistance machine, called the ARED, allows us to do squats, deadlifts, and other exercises that put stress on our bones and muscles, signaling to our bodies that they need to stay strong. We are essentially fighting against our own body's adaptation to space. Medical monitoring is another key part of staying healthy. We regularly take our own vitals, draw our own blood, and even perform ultrasounds on each other with guidance from doctors on the ground. This data helps medical teams on Earth track our health and understand the long-term effects of spaceflight. We are not just astronauts. We are also subjects in a massive, ongoing experiment to learn how humans can live off-planet. Every health check and every exercise session contributes to the knowledge that will help future generations travel even farther, perhaps one day to Mars and beyond. Living on the International Space Station can feel isolating. We are orbiting 250 miles above everyone and everything we have ever known. That is why staying connected to our families and friends on Earth is so incredibly important for our mental well-being. We are fortunate to have technology that allows us to bridge that vast distance. We have an internet protocol phone, which lets us make calls to any number on the planet. Hearing the voice of a loved one can instantly make you feel grounded and connected, even when you are floating in zero gravity. These calls are a vital lifeline to our lives back home. We also have the ability to do private video conferences. Once a week, we can schedule a video call with our families. Seeing their faces, watching our children show us their drawings, or just sharing a simple conversation is a powerful morale booster. It reminds us of what is waiting for us when we return. These moments are precious and help combat feelings of loneliness. They provide a sense of normalcy in a very abnormal environment. It's a way to participate, even from a great distance, in the everyday lives of the people we care about most. Email and social media are other powerful tools for connection. We have internet access, though it can be slower than on Earth. We can send and receive emails, which allows for more thoughtful, less immediate communication. Many of us also use social media to share our experiences with the public. Posting photos of the Earth from the cupola or explaining a science experiment allows us to share the wonder of spaceflight with people all over the world. This act of sharing helps us feel connected not just to our families, but to all of humanity. It turns a personal journey into a shared adventure. These connections are not just for our personal comfort, they are a crucial part of mission success. An astronaut who feels happy, supported, and connected is an astronaut who can perform at their best. Mission Control understands this well and works hard to ensure we have these communication links. Feeling psychologically strong is just as important as being physically healthy. When you are dealing with a complex repair or a challenging experiment, knowing that your family is cheering you on from Earth gives you an extra reserve of strength and determination to get the job done right. Life in space is an incredible adventure, but it is not without its risks. The environment outside our station is extremely hostile. One of the constant threats we face is space debris. These are tiny pieces of old satellites or rockets, often no bigger than a fleck of paint, but they travel at enormous speeds. A direct impact from even a small piece of debris could damage a critical system, or even puncture the station's hull. We have shielding to protect us, and we can even move the station to avoid larger tracked objects, but it is a danger that is always present in the back of our minds. Another unseen danger is radiation. Without the protection of Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field, we are exposed to higher levels of cosmic radiation. This can increase our long-term risk for certain health problems. We wear dosimeters to constantly measure our radiation exposure, and the station is designed with shielding in areas where we spend the most time, like our sleeping quarters. We are carefully monitoring the effects of this exposure to ensure that we can keep future astronauts safe on even longer missions, such as a journey to Mars, where radiation exposure would be an even greater concern. The psychological challenges can be just as difficult as the physical ones. Living in a small, confined space with the same few people for 6 months or more requires a great deal of patience, tolerance, and teamwork. You can't just go for a walk outside to clear your head. We are trained extensively in communication and conflict resolution to handle any interpersonal issues that might arise. Maintaining a positive and professional atmosphere is critical for the crew's well-being and the overall success of the mission. We learn to rely on each other completely, building a bond that is essential for survival. Ultimately, living in space is a constant exercise in preparedness and vigilance. We train for years to be ready for any emergency, whether it is a fire, a depressurization event, or a medical issue. We have to be able to act quickly and effectively, as help from Earth is hours or even days away. This responsibility is immense, but it is a challenge we willingly accept. The rewards of living and working in this extraordinary place, the science we conduct, the perspective we gain, and the path we forge for future explorers make all the challenges and dangers worthwhile. It is a special life, and it matters because it is humanity's next step.